Hi, thanks for clicking on my video. I am Beth Ann of Beth Ann Stamps. This week I am publishing a replay of a video I did on a Facebook Stampin' Up group to do a presentation on the Playing in the Rain bundle. I hope you enjoy this week's video. Please remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and leave me any comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you. Looks like I'm here and I am live. I want to thank Lynn for giving me the opportunity to showcase this Playing in the Rain bundle. I just think it's so cute. It's on page 50 and 51 of the mini catalog. Comes with these little loose daisies, the dies, and the stamp set. So I'm going to show you some of the things I've done with that, and we're going to make two projects tonight. This is the embossing folder, the dies, and I love, again, this is one of those sets where the dies will cut out the animals and things on the papers, the clouds, the umbrellas, the different animals. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I will tell you, when I first saw this set, the first thing I thought of was a shaker card, just with those daisies in there. So that's the one I'm going to make this evening on a live. So let me pull in my kit and we will get started. So I'm starting with the basic 5.5 by 8.5, scored at that 4 1/4. I've already stamped the inside, Oh Happy Day, and then the little extra daisy stamp, and put that in here. So then what I did is I cut a piece of the DSP, and this DSP is cut about 3.5 by 4 3/4. You really want to cut this to size to fit within your frame. I used the decal dies, and I used the largest and the third from the largest to get my frame size, and then that told me what size to cut this paper. So I'm going to glue this on here, if I can get any glue to come out of my little bottle. I have a thing for these cutesy stamp sets when they come out. The gnomes, this one with the different creatures on it. I just knew that I had to use this one as the background when we saw it on stage. It was so adorable. Okay, so here's my frame. I'm going to turn this frame upside down, and I am going to bring in, I know it was here earlier, tear and tape. I'm going to use the tear and tape to attach the acetate window. So I'm just going to put this around here. I just want to make sure that I have something strong that holds this piece of acetate in place. I've been stamping all day, so I have ink all over my fingers. Let's see. Whoop. Release this paper. It's not sticking. Let me see. There's another one. And we'll get that last piece. Oh, didn't stick down. There we go. All right, and then I went ahead and I also cut my acetate sheet so that I have that ready. Get that centered. I'm not too worried about that glue that's on there, because that'll still help put it down. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to use the foam strips. And when you're doing these, you want to make sure that they're touching each other so that the shakers, whatever you put inside, doesn't have anywhere to escape. I was so happy when Stampin' Up! Came out with these. Didn't mean to take the top off. We'll see here. Did anybody else get this set? I'm wondering how many of us go for the cutesy ones. Okay, come on. Why aren't you sticking? Okay. Now we'll peel the tape off of this. I got them all off. All right, so let me score this a little more. I really want this to lay as flat as it can, because I am going to put my loose daisies in here. I have no luck with putting this on top of this, so I want everything in so I can put this on top. So I'm going to put some loose daisies in here. Doesn't have to be a ton of them. And the other thing, I wanted to have a little sparkle on these. So I pulled out, I think they're retired. They're the subtle shimmer sequence, just to give it a little bit of sparkle, and put some of those in there. All right, now we have them in the middle. We have this, so I'm going to stick this right down here on top. I want to press this and seal it really well, so when the first time I shake it, none of those go underneath there. There we go. Get them out of the middle. There we go. So now I'm going to decorate the outside of this. I did bring in the dies, and I cut a little bridge here. And I'm going to just use some glue dots for this. I'm going to stick it right down here. It just fits very good within this frame. I did not put any glue dots in the center here, because I did use the die and cut this little bunny out of the designer series paper. I'm going to also use glue dots on him. I find that glue dots for me work better on top of that acetate than glue does. So take him, slide him in, and stick him right down there. And then these clouds that are on the DSP also match the die. So there was a group of 3, which means one of them is lost here on my desktop somewhere. Maybe we'll find it. But I'm going to also put these down with glue dots. Put one here. Take this little guy. Put it here. And if the other one shows up, I am doing this. We'll also add it. But that's my shaker card. Like I said, when I saw this set, that's what I saw in my mind. The first time I saw it was to make a shaker card. I just think it's so cute. I think I need another glue dot here. Let me grab one. So that's really odd that I lost it. I don't know if it's stuck to something. Oh well. So that's the first card, or the card that I'm making tonight. I do want to show you a couple of other cards that I made. I did this one. This one is based on a quilt block called the Disappearing 4 Patch. So that's what this is. And then what I did was I took a piece of vellum and put it over it. I figured it needed that rainy day look. It also, the vellum helps to hide maybe any little imperfections you may have there if seams on my quilt block didn't line up exactly right. And then just Oh Happy Day. And again, this fox, I didn't have to color him, cut him right out of that DSP. And I did pull in some old retired gems that I still had that look like those raindrops. And then on the inside, I did put a bunch of raindrops, stamped on, stamped off, so that you can still write your note on top of here. So that was a card. And then the last one, I went very, very simple. I wanted to make one using this embossing folder. So I started with the White Whisper White Thick, and then I put Night of Navy down, and then I took the Balmy Blue and I inked up the debossed side of the folder, put my paper and ran it through, and it gave me this really cool look with the embossing on it. And then I stamped this bunny and I used the colored pencils to color them, and then the blender pen to smooth out some of the pencil strokes. So, Rainy Days Are Better With You. So those are the cards I made with the set. And I know Lynn did some and posted a tutorial, I think about a week or two ago, with this set also, that are just gorgeous. And then I do like to make tags as often as possible, and I thought this set really lent itself to tags. Even I think in here there was a tag as one of the samples. I pulled out the tailor-made tags. Die cut the largest, and then the next one down with the paper. Pulled out my Balmy Blue ribbon, and then one of my favorite punches, this dual oval punch, Oh Happy Day, and put that on there. And then again, same thing. This one I did olive, old olive, the same tailor-made tags. Put a flirty flamingo to match my little pig here. Rainy Days Are Better With You. This ribbon is actually the white ribbon that has some sparkles in it, and I simply took my Flirty Flamingo dark marker and colored it so that it has that pink look to it. And so now I have 2 little gift tags that I can use. So those are those. And then the next thing we're going to make is a treat holder. So this is my little treat holder. I have it filled with caramels. So we're going to make that. Again, this ribbon was that white ribbon that I colored with the Flirty Flamingo. But for the box we're going to make tonight, we're going to do it in Balmy Blue. It looks like I may have lost another. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, so let me pull out my scoreboard. We are going to start with a piece of cardstock. I am doing, as I said, Balmy Blue. And we have this, it's cut 5.5 by 6.5. And I'm going to start on the 5.5 side. And I'm going to score this at 1 3/8. And I'm going to score it at 4 1/8. Then I'm going to turn it to the 6.5 side, and we're going to score quite a few times here. We're going to score at 3/4. Make sure I check my notes here. 1 3/8, and then 2 3/4, 4 1/8. 5 1/2, and 6 1/8. Okay, move this out. All right, so I am going to burnish each one of these folds. When I was looking to make a treat holder, I figured I had to have something to fit whatever treats I happen to have in the house, and some Werther's soft caramels were really the only thing I had. So, and this to me looked like an old-fashioned little lunch box. So I thought that was really cute. Okay. So we have all of those scored. Now we're going to cut out these 4 corners. Boy, my Pick-a tool keeps falling apart here. Okay, let's cut these out. So we'll cut these 4 corners. Here I am concentrating and it gets so quiet then. Okay, toss those. And then on the 2 sides, we're going to trim on both score lines. And I'm also going to do that tab on this center one, where it curves in a little. And then we're going to fold this up, and we don't want it sticking out the top, so I'm going to trim off the bottom. And do the same thing over here. And trim off the bottom a little. Okay, now you can have different ways to put this together, right? You can put it together with tear and tape if you want. You can use glue, really depending on what you're going to put in it and who you're going to give it to. For me today, I am just using the glue. So I'm going to take that first one up. Just hold it for a second. Square that up. And do the same side on the same thing on this side. And then put some more glue on here. And on this side. And then if you're particular about the front and back of your box, you can do where it's folded. Oh, my husband just tells me I'm falling out of frame. I apologize for that. All right, so if you don't want the edges here, then you can treat this side as the front of your box where it's folded over. And then I have some paper here. They're all cut at 1 1/8 inch high, and then 2 of them are 2.5 inches for what I'll call the front and the back. And then the other ones are 1 3/16 for on the sides. So I'm going to attach these to decorate my little lunchbox here. Again, this is out of that DSP. It has the raindrops on it. So I chose that with this matching, and they're glossy. This paper is really cool. I guess I better pay attention and make sure my raindrops are falling the right way. I'll do 2 on the sides. And the last one. And then for the front, for the little label, again, I went with these daisies. I think they are so cute. This time, I'm just pulling out the Stampin' Right markers, and I'm going to do some blue daisies here. I actually had blue daisies at my wedding. They were blue and white. And daisies are actually my favorite flower. So I'm going to stick with the blue. And I think, how about some yellow daisies? Let's see how this is going to go. There we go. color those in real quick. These are nice when you're doing small colors. I find them easier than the blends on the small. And then Old Olive for the leaves. I think I got them on. Let's see. Now that I get a little closer to it, I can see what I missed. But then again, I'm going to pull in that oval, double oval punch. There we go. And I'm going to put this on the front. Such a cute little stamp. Oop, get it centered. Okay, for the top here then, I did one around my corners. I don't have a Stampin' Up! Corner rounder, so I'm using what I have. Get those lined up. And then for a hole punch, I'm just going to hold these together so that I get that lined up, centered as best I can. And punch that hole, whoa, just right off the edge there. Okay, and then for this one, we're gonna take some caramels and put those in there. I think I got about 5. Them down in, and then I'm going to bring in this balmy blue, a pair of ribbon scissors, and I just want this out up this way, and then I want to tie a piece of white twine around that. So what I'm going to grab here, these are the tweezers that are in the embossing kit that came out in the fall. So I use that to hold my ribbon in place. And then I'm just going to bring in a piece of white twine. And I'll tie that bow. You can tie a bow or a knot, whatever works best for you. Guess I need to be on the other side of this, don't I? Go ahead and tie another knot on this side so I can put a bow. See if I can do this on a live. There we go. So there we go. There's my little treat holder. So those are the treat holders. I'll stand one up and one down so that you can see those. Show you the cards again. Using the embossing folder. This is the Disappearing 9-Patch Quilt card. The shaker card. Still haven't found my other cloud. If it shows up, I'll add it. It was here earlier. And then the tags. And then the last thing I did, for some reason lately, I'm always doing a scrapbook page. And this paper really, when I saw it, just said to me, April showers, bring May flowers. And so then as we get through April and May of this year, I will take some photos. They're ready to be put here. I can still move these around a little if I have to. I have them in place, but only partially glued down. And then just printed this off the computer. The font on this is Chalk Duster. And later that, and then again, cut these other umbrellas out of the DSP. So I have that page. I just think it's so cute. So those are the cards, the tags, and the little treat holders. And as I said, Lynn, I think she joined us. She also has some great cards and a tutorial that she put together a couple weeks ago with this suite. So, and again, Lynn, thank you for allowing me to do this. So I hope you like those cards. and what we created this evening. I'm sure I'll be doing a lot more with this. So thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.